Excellent leadership isn't about having the loudest voice. It is about having the clearest one. Because if you cannot connect, you can't lead. You can have the greatest vision in the world, the deepest wisdom, and the boldest plan. But if people can't understand you, they won't follow you. Communication isn't just a soft skill, it's a leadership survival skill. Welcome to the Live Podcast. Today we are talking about effective communication. Communication is the bridge between your vision and your people, because without it, leadership collapses. Everyone can communicate, but only few can connect, and that is a major requirement in leadership. You need to understand that leadership isn't just about talking. It's about transferring understanding, conviction, and ideas. It's about helping people see what you see and feel what you feel. You can give a passionate speech, energetic, full of vision, and heartfelt, but if you can't communicate properly, it will have no effect on people's lives. They might applaud you politely, but no real change has taken place. You need to learn to speak to people and not at them. It doesn't matter how much you're saying. If people can't understand it or relate to it, you haven't really led. Real communication starts when you drop your ego and start to lead with connection. Jesus is a master communicator. He took eternal truths and wrapped them in parables, stories, so as to communicate the mind of the Father to them. And he broke it down to them step by step. Scripture says, "Unto you is given the mysteries of the kingdom." There is no doubt that these are mysteries, but he broke them down carefully. And this is what made him the greatest leader history would ever know. He was able to communicate deep truths to fishermen, people who didn't have a high standing in society. That is true leadership. Paul was saying in 1 Corinthians chapter 14 verse 18, he said, "If the trumpet doesn't sound a clear call, who will get ready for battle?" That is exactly the danger of unclear leadership and communication. People can't follow what they don't understand, and it's your job as a leader to ensure they understand what you're saying. Note that it is kindness to communicate effectively to your followers and not leave them to guessing or trying to understand what you're saying. Many leaders, in a bid to outshine their followers and to massage their own ego, begin to make things complex more than they seem. Let's go through a few points. Number one, simplify your message, because clarity beats complexity. Great communicators don't try to sound smart, they just try to make others understand. Albert Einstein once said, "If you can't explain it simply, you simply don't understand it well enough." Whether it is preaching, leading a team, leading your family, simplicity isn't weakness, it is wisdom. How much can you convey your thoughts and your vision to your followers in simplicity? Number 2 point is, see the person. Communication is personal. Connection will always precede direction. Learn to speak to people and not at them, and that is connection. People most times don't really want to hear what you want to say. They want to feel how much connection you have with them. Before people listen to you, they want to read your heart. They want to know, do you see me? Do you care about me? You need to understand that leadership is relational. You communicate best when you care the most. Jesus, even though he spoke to crowds, still found a way to build relationship individually with people. Jesus saw people for who they are and communicated with them where they were. Number 3 point, show the truth. People may forget what you say, but what you do leaves a lasting impression in the lives of people. Credibility is a foundation of communication. I'll use this analogy. You come across a breaking news on a social media page whose credibility has been under scrutiny for a few years now. What do? You definitely take it with a pinch of salt. Why? Because this social media page or news outlet has given false news in the past, and it has been consistent with how they have been doing. So you don't care about whatever information they give, and that's the value of credibility in communication. If you're not a credible source, if you've not stood the test of time, if you don't have integrity, people won't take what you're saying, even though you're leading them. When your words and your life align, your message carries weight. Number 4, seek a response. Communication isn't complete if action doesn't follow. If people understand you but don't act, you should ask the question of, Did I communicate effectively? Because effective communication makes people act. There's always an action that follows effective communication. Ask yourself after every presentation, every meeting with your followers, did I communicate effectively? Did I speak with clear terms? There should always be actions that follow whatever you say. Actions from your followers in regard to what you communicated. Like I said before, if your communication isn't effective, people struggle to understand you. And if they struggle to understand you, they can act on whatever you're saying. Point 5. Learn your audience language. Leaders often assume that people understand their vision the way they do. When they don't, adapt your message to their perspective. Speak in such a way that resonates with where they are at that particular time. Good communicators always translate the truth. They don't dilute it. So in translating truth, you look for the best way to effectively communicate whatever the vision is. Paul said, I became all things to all people so that I might save some. That's what it means to be an empathetic leader. You put yourself in their shoes and communicate from where they are. That is communication with purpose, connecting truth to people's life. Here's a question for you. When people listen to you, do they understand you or they just nod at whatever you say? Will those you're leading describe you as a clear communicator or a confusing one? Great communication isn't about being impressive. It's about being always understood. I have 3 other questions for you. Do I speak to be heard or understood? Do I listen to reply or relate with? Do I connect emotionally or just intellectually? This week, try this communication challenge. The first one being, clarify one message. Take something you regularly communicate, maybe a vision or an idea, to your team or your family or whosoever you're leading, and try to simplify it so that the child could understand it. Second one, ask for feedback. After you speak, ask them, do you understand what I said? Could you explain to me what I'm communicating to you in your own words? That one question will show that you're trying to connect and not just speaking. The third one, before your next meeting or conversation, ask yourself, what is this person feeling or what is this person going through? You can communicate with this person based on what they are experiencing. Leadership rises and falls on communication. You can't move people you can reach, and you can't reach people who don't understand you and who you don't understand. So lead with clarity, listen with empathy, and speak with integrity. Because in the end, if you can't connect, you can't lead.